It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
We on a mission and that's bringing y'all the truth. You know the problem, but we get into the root. The devil watching, yeah, he always on pursuit. But Jesus is our rock, so we shall not be moved. We on a winning team, so we can't lose. We say facts, cause we hitting y'all with proof. Started from the bottom, now we standing on the roof. As God as our witness, we gon' make it to the moon. When you want the truth, the world be hiding it. This the real word, we providing it. We got Acee, BK, Truth, Rick Star, and we plan to make a movie like it's Pixar. We came a long way from the plantation. We just tryna save your souls from damnation. So if you down with the message, tune in every week. It will lead you to the message that you seek.
It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to The Real Word, Season 5, Episode 16. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. Shout out to everybody that watches on the Brick Network every Tuesday and Thursday on the Brick Network. Shout out to everybody that follows on Instagram at The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram. That's at The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram. Shout out to everybody that follows us on Facebook. That's The Real Word number 7 on Facebook. The Real Word 7 on Facebook. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on SoundCloud at The Real Word Podcast. That's The Real Word Podcast. And also check us out on our website, www.therealwordministriesinc.org. That's therealwordministriesinc.org. So we thank you all for all the support. I'm here with my co-host.
You know, it's the one only AI. You can add me on Instagram, Acee11. Ace Irving 11. If it's no 11, it ain't me.
BK.Truth is Brooklyn's Truth in the building. What's going on, Brooklyn?
What up, what up, what up? And we here with two special reoccurring guests. Introduce yourself, gentlemen.
What's going on? It's your boy Anthony. How you doing, everybody?
Shout out to Ant.
It's AJ, also known as AJ Ron. Find me on Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, music streaming services. But it's a pleasure to be here today.
Alright. Shout out to everyone that's here with us today at this roundtable. We having gold table talk, so you already know what it is. So we from Brooklyn. You already see it on the brim. Shout out to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, New York. There's a lot been going on recently in the news, especially affecting our city. You know, Cuomo be wildin', de Blasio be wildin'. Lately, they saying that things are slowly opening back up, and the more, I guess, time goes by, the more things that are revealed to us. Like recently, the New York Post put out an article said that less than 1% of Americans were affected by this disease. And you know, the counter to it is people say, okay, no, you can say that there's a lot of people who is asymptomatic and there's a lot of people that weren't even tested. So how do we know that's the right number? You know, that's the argument. But then we also hear the other side where they say that some people died in the house and they were counted as COVID even though they weren't tested positive for COVID. So now that we see it's less than 1%, we ask ourselves, was it really necessary for everything to be shut down for less than 1%? Some people say it's because they made people stay home that they curved the whole thing. What do you guys think about that?
Contradiction. Because they also said because people weren't listening that it was increasing. And I thought it was supposed to be way bigger than 1%.
But I mean, people were listening. They was listening to the TV. We've been talking about this corona pandemic for how many weeks? And we all said, like, go outside, test the fresh air. And when you test the fresh air, there's no corona. This is on like a lower level. Like they scared the public. You know, in politics, man, like everything in politics happened for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, I have a very different opinion. Like, from my perspective, I think COVID is definitely real, but if you truly analyze the situation, it's like, it's pretty much the same thing that's going on with every aspect of our lives. Like, we are...
Break it down.
We're paying taxes and we're voting for these people to represent us, and we're entrusting them with our lives, basically. And when you look at an institution like the CDC, that's been around for however long, we've been pouring money into the CDC for years.
And the WHO.
And we've been proud that we have an institution as such because the idea was always, if there is any kind of sickness, we'll always be able to be in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just baffling that, like, in 2020, like, where we're so advanced technologically,
when it's the time to
when
shine,
CDC has its time to shine, it drops the ball completely.
couldn't show up before.
And we have a whole bunch of people in Washington that cannot hold them accountable. If you look at the hearings that they have after the COVID was here, the conversations are happening, but everybody's blaming one another.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors are saying, you didn't listen to us. And the senators are saying, well, 2 years ago when we had a meeting, why weren't you telling us that you needed these things? You didn't know things were short. So it's like, it's a blaming game going on. Meanwhile, people are dying. That article, I would definitely want to read though. I would definitely love to check the numbers on that, because to say that less than 1% of the population, I think it's very much questionable.
Very low.
When it's like we clearly have 2 million cases right now. We have over 100,000 people dead. Like I've known people like in my immediate family that died.
My New York Times was the same thing.
So,
but why do you think it's only 99%?
I have to
You
read
could
this.
probably put that on the TV.
Why do you think it's 99%?
Yeah, screen mirror.
Yeah, but that's number of confirmed cases though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But our problem though is still that we are not testing as we should. That's still the problem.
But the thing is, the more people you test, of course, there's going to be more positives and false positives.
No, but that's what has to be done though. But the idea that if we just don't test at all, then we won't have any cases. That's just not true.
So do you think there should be mandatory testing for everyone?
That should have been done like 2 months ago, bro.
So if there's mandatory testing, then they could implement mandatory vaccination.
Exactly.
I don't think a vaccine will ever be mandatory, because like the vaccine is clearly being rushed right now. Like they're doing everything they can to deliver it as fast as possible. So when they first put it out on the market, some people would, myself included, will be skeptical. Like I will be questioning so I will want to watch the effect of it first before I take it. Like something like the flu vaccine. I haven't took the flu vaccine for years, but other people take it. So I could just walk around and say, oh, the flu vaccine is not true, because I've never had it.
But been proof.
But everyone else that's taking it could be like the reason that I'm not getting it.
But does the flu vaccine work? Because it's a vaccine that you got to take every year. And there's people that take it and some people that don't. Like I personally have never taken a flu vaccine in my life.
But that's what I'm saying though. But if you look at the numbers, more people do take the flu vaccine than the numbers of people that don't take it. So you not being affected by it no way, no how, like, you haven't gotten the flu in however long, it could be like, okay, because less people around you are getting it, they're not spreading it. So it could very well be that because the people around you are taking the vaccine, then it's not being spread.
I don't think a lot of people take the flu vaccine like that. Okay,
now, if you look at the numbers though, they will show.
There's 5
more
of us in
people
this
do
room.
take it than they don't.
How much of you guys here in this room ever took the flu vaccine?
Zero.
I took it once.
And do you think it made a difference when you took it or not? Like the years you took it?
You only took it once.
I took it
I don't think you believe that one.
What made you take it so many times?
I was little at the time. So.
Parents.
But after that, I just stopped doing it.
I think it's a
But when I did,
But that
When I
it just
took it, it
just
really
happens. So that's just us 5 though. Like I understand, like it is crazy that in a room of us 5 we don't take the flu vaccine.
Zero.
I get it, but like more people do take the vaccine than don't take it. Like, but to question though that whether COVID is here or not though, I feel like I wouldn't call it a bit absurd, but like, what would you account the number of deaths to? Like, what would you account the people that are getting sick to? Like, they're dying from something else?
For me, it's
like,
more mental.
People tell me 5G, but like if you tell me 5G, then why are people in Haiti getting sick?
True. I think it's more mental. I think it's
a mind game.
In the sense of, if you believe something hard enough, you can kind of make yourself sick. Like if you kind of keep thinking negative thoughts, your body actually becomes weaker.
I mean, I kind of believe in that theory too. Because I think that's all part of the secret. You know, like, you know, if you believe something long enough, like it will happen to you.
Yeah.
I do kind of understand that.
I wouldn't say it doesn't completely exist, but so my theory on the whole situation was, it's flu season. Everyone's catching the flu. Everyone's sneezing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But because they put the story out there and made it darker, this flu became, in a sense, stronger. In a sense that people started... Think about it. If like a tornado. If everyone was already sneezing and then you find out one person sneezed and died, all of a sudden, your next sneeze is going to be like, oh, snap. Listen, this is a little different. Like,
I think we need to bring a nurse here next week. We need to bring a nurse here next week. Like, because... If you talk to somebody that works at the hospital, they'll tell you like, "Yo, this is real. Like, this is happening."
I think the main issue is that, like, especially the way it was handled just by the government. Like, that's just the main issue that everybody's facing. Like, the fact that, because the way that, you know, everybody feels about it now is kind of how like Trump and them was handling it before. It was like, yo, it's just like the Chinese thing going on, only affecting them, da da da. But it's the fact that nobody addressed it as it was happening, and then, you know, the main thing that we got hit is like the economy, and then like the hospitals with the people being overwhelmed and stuff like that. Like, you know, they're just saying there's not enough beds and everything like that. Like, my only issue with this whole situation is how, like, every week or two things were just changing. Every information that's coming out was just like, yo, hey, all right.
And what happened? They disappeared.
I mean, still here.
You don't be on TV.
I could have sworn they fired that whole. They fired some people when they was like just part of that the health stuff, but yeah.
The fund of who?
That's why I thought it was more mental, because they kept changing the situation.
But the problem is, like, they didn't know, and they just talking. But like, I guess that's the day and age that we live in, where like with the media, everybody wants answers now, like what's going on now, da da. And then so when they just shut everything down, and then like. First it was like, oh, just quarantine for 2 weeks and you good. All of a sudden it's like, nah, now we just gotta just, you know, stay shut down until whenever, or like this, that, and the third. Like, you know, it's just crazy. And it's like, I'm still not even sure how it works. If you get it, can you get it again? Or if you get it and it's gone, it doesn't disappear.
They
like,
told my mom that you could get it again, so I'm not sure.
Because like, that's when the whole second wave theory comes from. Is like, how's it gonna be another wave if people already got it? You know, it's just everything that's coming on that they need to clarify.
What I was told by nurses was, once you get any type of sickness, you know, once you beat it, your body beat it, you adjust to it, and you no longer catch it again. Then it was like, COVID is, you know, mutating. It's turning it. This is all from my mom.
I mean, the flu mutates every season.
Different aspects.
They were saying it was mutating so rapidly. It was like the next day it was a new virus. Like,
but what's rotating, people think is one thing when it could be another story behind it.
Let me tell y'all this much. We African Americans, I don't want to say black, African Americans, darker skinned people, whatever we want to say. Melanin, you know. They were saying that we were getting hit the most, and I found it so weird because I went to Prospect Park. I have strong faith, I would say. I went to Prospect Park during this whole pandemic. I was going outside, whatever. I went to Prospect Park. I see Caucasian, Asians, actually mostly Caucasians, Caucasian on Caucasian riding bikes outside with the mask on.
Yeah, those in Prospect.
They were testing it, and in a sense, that's why I thought it was more mental, because they just thought they thought, yeah, I'll be fine.
I think AJ hit on the key thing, man. Like, listen, the lack of leadership became so clear in this moment, and like, it's like we never question things, man. It's like in the era that we're living in today, man. Like, we're so advanced technologically.
We can find out pretty much everything.
You realize we were voting as our senators, like. Chuck Schumer been a senator from New York since what, 97?
And he's still there.
Bro, it like
who's that mayor that was our mayor for mad long?
Before?
Giuliani?
Bloomberg.
That was like just always in like the George Washington of New York. Like he never left office.
He did another 4.
Never left the office.
That's what happens, bro. We like. We made changes in our society and everything.
That's the one that was really killing black people. Lyric was killing black people for a minute.
Because it don't feel like ours, you know. It don't feel like our society in the sense of run, or at least, you know, the melanin Caucasian. The Caucasians seem to be all up in politics. For us to get in there, it's like 1, 2,
no, but
3. It's like 3 of us.
I say that's us. I say that's us. Like
because like even that young Hispanic shorty, that's like the youngest.
Yeah, AOC.
Yeah, you know,
that's completely us.
That could be
like,
us.
We just don't go for it.
The idea that we spread around first that we don't need to vote because it's already decided.
Yeah.
Listen, that's where we lose, man. That's the first thing because like if we see what happened in Georgia last week, then you understand that your vote actually matters. Like there is a reason why they're trying to
Trump
keep it.
Wouldn't even be here if a lot of people.
There is a reason why they're trying to keep it from you. Like Republicans are happy when the majority of us don't go out to vote, man, because they know, like, okay, as far as voting is concerned, like as far as registered voters, we have more people.
But I always feel like we're choosing who's the less of the two evils.
Black always vote Democrat, and
that's our problem. That's our problem.
We give them the vote for free. We never hold them accountable for them to give us anything back. And now see everybody is back on Obama, like, oh, we have Obama Day on Trump's birthday. Like, to me, that was corny in the sense that what did Obama do for you?
Nothing.
Like, I still say, man, like Obama had his shortcomings. He was clearly Obama had his shortcomings clearly, but
we ignored it.
I look at Obama just like I would look at, like I always wonder, like, yo, how do drug dealers get caught? Because it's like what you should be doing is look at like what somebody else did before you. Figure out what they get.
You think they'll get better, right?
Duplicate it, and just make sure you don't
listen
do
to Jay-Z
that
music.
part.
Like, how do y'all not understand this by now? Like,
I see Obama the same way, man.
50
I
Cent,
see Obama
everybody
as we see how he got there. We could
you
replicate that
and be better.
Figure out what he went wrong and just be better at that. Like we could criticize Obama, and he has his points. Like. Killed way too many people. His drones were crazy. He bailed out Wall Street for no reason and did not hold them accountable enough.
He gave all the gays the laws.
Pretty much. He did not this is where like my hardest problem with Obama is like
he never gave
where he went as hard as he could for gays. But he did not do enough.
You know what?
To get
too. It was
because he was looking out for his people.
I wouldn't say that though. When I
he was looking out for his people.
Hold on. I think it was just a new wave in the sense of at that point in time, the gays was doing their whole march and everything. They was trying to fight for marriage or whatever. So at that time, he just went with what people wanted at that time.
He looked out for his people.
If you think about it, we didn't ask for nothing. Like you said, we don't hold.
All right, let's ask you a question.
We was just like, yo, Obama's there. He better take care of us.
But
we never said what we wanted him to take care of.
Thank you.
But look though, like. Do you not take care of your people though?
But they always say that too, like
smaller scale.
No, what you have to realize. Sorry to cut you off, AJ. What you have to realize, it's not when it comes to politics. It's not about your people.
Yeah, it's about everybody.
It's about who got you there, bro. It's about the money that got you there.
Nah.
Listen,
it's usually the people that support you.
No,
we don't got money to support
listen, bro. All we have is our vote.
Yeah, exactly.
All we have is our vote. The way Obama gets that vote is to be out there. The only way he's out there was with money. He needs to pour money into advertising,
and that's why we never
pour money to make sure he has a campaign. This is the problem. Listen,
that's why a lot of people get dropped out campaigns early.
Absolutely. The key solution to that I've heard is like if. Instead of having rich people just pour money into politicians, and listen, they're gonna get your vote, but they're clearly going to work for the people that gave them the money.
Because they owe them.
That's all. And Obama went to work for the people that gave him the money. The gays made good donations. He went to bat to make sure he got laws for gays. Law Street gave good donations. He made sure he went to bat for Wall Street.
It's just,
black people voted for Obama because he was black. And we did not do a full campaign to make sure we asked for things.
So what about now? They're saying anyone but Trump, so they give us Biden when Biden
pretty much
is bad.
Absolutely. Like,
that's an L. That's an L for us.
But I think that's because from 2016 to now, we did not have a grassroots movement. All we did was complain about Trump. So the Democrat just gave us a reason to say, just gave us another choice other than Trump. If we held them accountable, they would have switched up and gave us a candidate that they knew we wanted. Like
who? Who would have been a good candidate from the Democrat side?
Bernie Sanders was perfect, man.
I miss Bernie.
Bernie Sanders was perfect.
But a lot of people say he was leaning too much on socialism.
But
socialism.
Listen, that's what has to be done, though, bro. Like
socialism and capitalism is not that far different.
It's not, but if you really look at it, like Wall Street finds ways to socialize the investment, but capitalize the profit. That's all they do, bro. Like soon as we had the crisis in 08, they was up in Washington begging for money, man.
They always do, and they always get
but
hold on. AJ was gonna say something. What were you gonna say?
The only thing I was gonna say is about like how like it's like black people never say what they want. It's like not just press them and say what we want or ask for something. It's just like you gotta ask for something like specific things and then find who's working on specific policies and laws. Try to get them in because people like they never do anything for us. But it's like there's like all right, so what you want done, and then all right, let's go down the list and then see what we can get through and then see who the hell's working for us when we do that. So I mean that's what I was gonna say.
I gotta say, who would at that time when Obama was running? Who was our representative once again for black people in the sense of like who was the leader that was gonna say what we wanted anyway? We never have nobody speaking as a leader for us.
We don't, but I think when it comes to that, I think that's directly tied to your state elections, though, man. Like it's who the congressmen you're voting for, who's the state senators you're voting for, who's the mayor that you're voting for, because these people have the power to actually reach up to Washington and say,
talk to them and say,
this is what my people want.
This is what the people
need. If you look at the police movement right now, man, like there are laws being passed about police reform, bro, that I never thought in a million years would happen.
Yeah.
They repealed 50A the other day. Like they actually made police records public. Like, you could go request it and find out. Like, if this officer is actually abusive, you could see it.
But you know what's wild? They did that under Trump and now Obama. Like, it's really wild how stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying.
And it was Obama that passed the blue law.
Trump had nothing to do with that, though. Like, this is our state senate that passed those laws. If it was up to Trump,
but
those
Obama
laws would
passed laws
absolutely
that protected police, the blue laws.
But this is what I'm saying, though. Like, where is when Obama's passing those laws, where are the people taking the street to say this is not what we want?
So a lot of them did not know that these laws were being passed.
Period.
But we always been doing that. And we're gonna look, the fact that we always been doing that, a lot of people is doing all this talking when it's still gonna continue regardless.
Bro, but we have the example right now.
Yeah,
like,
but
as long as we take the streets and make sure our voices are heard, our voices will be heard. Like state senators who took money from the police unions are currently giving that money back. You know why? That's them telling the police union, I cannot work for you.
Yeah.
Like whatever promises I made to you,
it's like
I will not. I will not be held to them. So here's your money back.
The streets are burning.
Because no matter how much money the police union give them now, if they don't pass those laws, we will vote them out.
Of course.
So this is what I mean. If once your vote cannot be bought by somebody else, democracy is at play.
Did you guys see the cop that posted on social media? Yeah, we did kill Eric Gardner, we weren't responsible for it. I was just ashamed to say it back then.
It's easy to feel. It's easy to feel that way now.
Yeah, now there's a new villain.
That's the same thing that the Commissioner Goodell was doing, though.
Yeah,
He's saying that we was
it's
wrong
easy
for
to feel that way now. You know,
They always
most people
apologize later, you know?
They just go with the majority of people saying,
like, you know, I appreciate it, but I wouldn't say I respect it. I appreciate it.
I think it was brave for him to say it because no one has said it so far.
I mean, you know, that's why I said I appreciate it. But like, bro, we know.
It's not
we
gonna
saw
make a
it.
difference.
Like, we saw it, son. We saw
not a big
it.
enough difference.
So look, guys. We 5 black men. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have some level of influence and we all have intelligence. Now we sitting around in the round table. Like now let's brainstorm. If we were to go before a politician, because we can write letters to local politicians. I've done it on my own behalf, and they actually write back. Like they send you letters back and everything. So if we were to do, because during the time when a lot of black men were dying under Obama, I wrote the White House a letter, they wrote back, and I wrote the Mayor de Blasio a letter, and they wrote back. Recently, I wrote requesting not a citation, a proclamation. I wrote the governor and I wrote the mayor requesting a proclamation. They said they can't give a proclamation to a living person. So I said, okay, why don't you give the proclamation to the non-for-profit? Because we already got citation of trying to get a proclamation, which means they dedicate a day in your name, basically. Mm-hmm. So it's possible to do so. So us, if we came collectively and we went to the local politicians or local, state, or federal, and we was asking for demands on behalf of black men all around America, what would we ask?
You know what I'm asking.
Okay, you first. Go ahead.
40 acres of land.
You dang right, bro.
I
need us all to get that payment, you know, and in terms of just being born.
They threw a number recently, right? They said each black family would get 320.
Oh, Robert Johnson put out a number. I think he said, what was it, 311 trillion or something?
Yeah, and they said it breaks down to about 350,000 per family.
Yeah, Robert Johnson put that out the other day. Yeah, so y'all can look up that number.
When are we getting that though?
That's not coming no time soon.
It's just an idea though.
I was gonna be a little kinder in the sense of just anybody born with African, because I feel like anyone born with African American heritage is in a weird way put in a weird predicament of they have to hear about slavery, their ancestors, rapage, all these dark stories in a sense of I feel like that just puts you in a mindset that, oh wow, the world is against me, or the world was against me. It just puts you in a dark mindset. So my whole 40 acres thing is more of just like having a fair start. And I think of the game of Monopoly, you know, when you're born into this world, it's like everyone else has this savings account that, you know, their parents has funds and everything. I feel like African American children should at least have an expectation to get funds. If it doesn't come from the parents, it should come from the government. That's why I think like fair start should be like, you know, something fair like 25K, like Monopoly. You start with 200 and then you go around the board. You don't start with nothing, because I feel like a lot of our children have to hustle harder because we usually grow up with nothing. Yeah. We gotta play this game from zip.
I came from nothing. That's that story we get too much often.
Too often. So I feel like we need some type of payment to feel like we can play the game fairly and not feel like
$1 million sounds fine because they have a lot of money. So.
Well, you're right. The way money is being moved, you know, 1,200 is easy to come by.
Like 300,000 not gonna do nothing. Come on, bro.
The way they got currency going, like
we need at least 1 mil. Matter of fact, no. 5 mil.
5 mil.
Who's next? What would you ask for?
Well, for me, what I would ask for, like, I want land.
Housing.
How much acres would you ask for? Because whatever you get, every other black person has to get.
Just a house, I think.
40 acres.
Well, let's use something realistic, right?
Like in this daytime.
50 acres.
Like the VA loan, right, guys? Like the VA loans. The VA loans, they could put 0% down when they go for a mortgage. So that's what you get for being a veteran. And there's also the GI Bill that lets you go to any school for free after you serve a certain amount of time in the military. And while you're going to school, you get a check you'll get a stipend
That
every
sounds
month
nice.
to live off of. That's what the veterans get, and they get free health care
And
for
that's
life.
because they did something for the country.
But how-
we built this country
What-
with
but
our dang hands.
The thing is, though, most of those great benefit packages usually come from like the military and stuff like that, but not a lot of people want to go to those backgrounds.
Well, that's what he's saying.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
I'm comparing it.
Rickard is saying like, what if they
What if
offer
we
that to
got
black
that?
people?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
saying
want it for like,
something realistic. What would you want? Like something realistic.
well, something realistic. Like let's say if you achieve a certain status at your job, but we're talking about like when you get like to manager positions, administrative positions, CEO, or like a owner of a company where it's like
Okay, or start your own business in a sense.
where you have a free business.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Where you just get one, so they're giving you one free shot.
A one-shot deal.
Yeah, and you gotta work it out best, cause one shot.
I hear
That's
you.
not bad.
Hit or
I
miss.
hear you.
But then if you miss, then what? You go back on welfare?
I mean,
You go back to.
no way. The one is free, so it's like use it wisely.
He's like, don't miss.
That's like
Don't miss.
Don't miss. You gotta make something out of it.
You must have never heard of HRA. Because when people buy on their rent, they go to HRA and get one-shot deal. They tell them, this is one shot, don't come back. And you know what happens next year?
They
come back. Then they gotta get an ETP, an exception to policy, where they gotta go back and give them another.
I did like
one-shot
something you
deal.
said though, like when you reach a status. I feel like maybe if you graduate college, then you get
Yeah,
one shot.
at a certain
Like-
status, that deal is not for everybody. Everybody can't be able to take those type of deals.
So you're gonna pull a ghost.
They
A
pull
ghost
a-
with Tyreek has to finish school before you get all the bread and all the businesses.
That sounds nice though. I ain't gonna lie.
That's not a
Yeah,
bad
you
deal.
gotta be smarter though. That's funny.
Alright, so your turn.
You can't just give it. It's like this, right? So it's like, let's say you're like at the age of like 12, 13, and you got like $10 million. Are you really gonna use that money wisely?
Nah, you're gonna become a drug addict.
Exactly. So it's like you gotta reach a certain
I thought it
status.
would just be flashy. You said, like,
But it's true though.
All the young people that got money early became drug addicts. Bro.
Yeah, like you gave them too much money, so it's just like they could do a lot of things. It's just like, damn, I'm living on the world for
still
free.
No,
That was
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to be.
Yeah, in New York it is. That's New York State law.
It's still free, right?
Yeah, that's New York State law.
That's supposed to be for like 3 years or longer than that.
No,
I think
So you gotta
much-
live here for 3 years. or
pretty much.
something.
You got after you
Before you
graduate, you gotta
graduate,
live here for 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
yeah,
never
when-
had years.
But that's like state colleges though, not private colleges.
Okay.
Yeah, so
CUNY
state and
CUNY.
yeah, only state and city colleges.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your turn, AJ.
What would you want? You know.
I mean, I definitely say like I always said before, more black banks.
Mm.
Like find I don't know, black billionaire or something, and just be like, hey, here's your central bank.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm
here's
waiting
your-
for Jay-Z to do
We
something.
need a China.
We don't have enough money.
Like,
You
you
know?
could get some like
Oh, yeah.
loans.
We
for
definitely need a
ourselves.
Chinatown for sure.
Yeah, we need a black bank.
You know what the
Hopefully we can make
Chinatown
that
is for
happen.
us? A hood. That's our Chinatown.
And what else? Should just the black bank or?
Nah, and then like
The
the
black bank
free
is-
education. They are like everywhere. Like let them go get their bachelors for free, and then
Yeah, because the money thing
they
is
can get their knowledge. Like after that, there's no excuses for them to be like, nah, I can't afford college. I can't this and the third, blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we already know what's gonna happen after that. The goalposts gonna move, and they're gonna be like, all right, bachelor's not good enough. Now you need your master's, your PhD.
I think
I think that's how it is right now.
That's why I'm not even sure if 25K is enough for you. Like you said, we might need $1 million in the future.
oh, I think we need $1 million right now. Come on, that's not good.
Inflation.
Yeah, like, I would want so much, man. Like, first of all, Juneteenth needs to be a national holiday.
Juneteenth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
next
then
week. That's this week actually. It's
Juneteenth.
Friday.
Juneteenth.
Oh,
Yeah, that's June 19th. That's
When we was
Yeah,
freed from slavery.
But that's when we found out.
Yeah.
Oh, like there was a proclamation of that. That needs to be
it's
a
official.
Yeah, that needs to be a
Hit the
national.
TV?
And this nigga was like, oh yeah, you ain't know? I didn't tell you 2 months ago?
Yeah, you didn't tell me when I was picking up the corn.
Very next day, they went back to jail for not having jobs.
Yeah, word. That's literally what they did for real though. Like they made it illegal for you to not have a job, so it was locking people up.
Nobody was hiring. Till this day. Because if you don't get a job, you robbing and you go back to jail. You become a slave again.
Yo, real talk though. That's why when like me and Alan, we was walking from the other crib, and then like even like our little homie Carl, he was like, yo,
Carl.
He was like, yo, he was 6 at Sun Road. He asked me, and I'm like, yo, if we got a job for him. And I was after him like, yo, real talk, I'm gonna find a job for him because like I don't want to see this young kid go down the wrong path. You feel me? Like, like you know, so like it's better for him to do that before he gotta result back to doing something else and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'm dead gonna look out for this kid, you know, because that's what you gotta do.
So I mean, using that idea, like I think what something else I would want to implement, like, is just we need to build Black Wall Street back.
Oof.
Everyone has their own community.
We need our bank.
Like he just said it. You know, they have Chinatown.
Yeah.
The Mexicans stay
That's what
together.
Umar Johnson was saying. Like, we need black schools. That's another thing. We need black schools.
So what about T.I.
We
saying
need
that
a
Atlanta
Jewish
is
town.
Wakanda?
That's what we need.
I mean, so
That's what we really
if we're gonna do that,
the
then we need to
Chinatown.
do it.
Yeah,
But we need to build Black Wall Street back. Like we need to have
Where?
our own. Like
One in each state?
we could have one in each state.
We need to have one in
Where you know we are dealing with our own banks.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to our churches. We're going to our own gas stations. We're going to our own repairments. Like, you know, and yo, we said forget Target.
But you know what they did.
We go to our own Target. Somebody else open our own, you know, store. We go to our own Target. Like, because the numbers show it, man. The black dollar stays in our community 7 hours.
Less than
7.
Everybody else is able to keep their money within their community.
Yeah, because they don't have an issue working and supporting each other together. Like I was watching a video on Comedy Hype on YouTube, and it was talking about back in the 80s why Eddie Murphy and Spike Lee wasn't working together. It was like the two black, you know, directors up and coming or producers, and then they're making movies, but it's like, yo, why these guys don't come together? And it's like Eddie Murphy was explaining why black people don't work together in Hollywood. They don't, like, because they were supposed to come together and make a black Hollywood, like him and then the Wayans brothers. And
we have people who could write. I mean, we are the people.
They didn't do that until Hollywood.
Yeah, but like they wasn't doing it, and Eddie Murphy was saying it's like, yeah, because like, you know, everybody's just focused on wanting to do their own thing. It's like, all right, yeah, he's up. All right, I'm gonna try to come up myself and try to get my own thing. Like I don't want to, you know, shit with him or like have him on my stuff or be on his stuff. You know, that's what the mindset is. Everybody want to be that individual. Like,
but
yo, come up on his own.
That's Hollywood for you though.
Yeah, I mean, but the white people have no problem collaborating together.
I look at it this
doing
way. I look at it. There ain't enough food on the plate in the sense of, imagine.
It is.
I'm gonna have to cut you off. I'm gonna have to cut you off.
That's what they act like. That's what they act like.
I'm gonna have to cut you off.
And that's what I mean by everybody want to do their own thing.
Because what happens is they take a bigger portion of the pie and they just leave the least amount for you to fight amongst yourself to have.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this is what I mean is,
and then you're in survival mode after that.
But when you take ownership of your dollar, you don't allow them to do that anymore. And that's the key thing. It's like, this thing hurts my heart so much, man, when I see people make it. And it's like, I understand you was always inspired to want Gucci and Prada, but you should have done your research, bro. Like, there are high-end black designers that you could invest in, and they're making just as good clothes.
But let's look at it from an even smaller point of view. Me and you was talking one day, right? And I was telling you, like, yo, we selling shares in this company and that company. And you was like, yeah, word. You like, yo, Rick, I've been seeing you do your thing for a while. Like, yo, that's my fault. I ain't getting involved more often. I said, yeah, I don't blame you because there's a lot of people like that. And when I talk to people about it, some people say, oh, it's because of my old co-host, my old business partner. Some people say it's because of the way I translate the message. Some people say it's because of how they feel personally against me. But at the same time, they don't look at the bigger picture. I feel like people support who they want to support. And I feel like sometimes when they see that you're getting too big, they don't want to be a part of that. So then they go to the side and start something while still trying to chop at your legs, while trying to build their own.
I totally agree with that.
I posted something today, right? And I gave the citation and I was talking. Lately, since Corona started, since January, I've been posting things. And I see like every single time I post something, they send someone new to come at me online. And every time I knock one down, the other one comes. Another one comes, another comes. And every time one comes, knock them all out. And then they make a comment. Everyone that I knocked down before, they like the comment of the new person that's coming. Meaning that all the old people that got defeated are still watching. Yeah. Still beaming it up for the next person.
They're waiting for somebody else.
And they send the next person. And then today, there was someone that barely ever comments. He gave his point of view, and it was respected because I see him as a brother. I was like, all right, I respect what you're saying. But everything that he was saying was a contradiction. He said, yeah, I see you posting all these things, blah, blah, be more Christ-like. I said, yo, I find that ironic. I got Lamb of God tatted on my chest, bro. Like I put my all in it, son. It was sometimes my account almost hit zero because I was giving it out. So sometimes people gave donations, but sometimes like
you still had to put
I was giving half my check just to keep this thing going. Like people don't understand that. And that same person that was commenting, I could look back at all the records. That person never donated once. Mm-hmm. Not once. But yeah, you questioning what I'm doing. And then he was like, no, I respect everything that you're doing for the people. I respect everything you're doing for you. I said, you was the same one that said don't post the names of the donors because it might make the people that's not donating or that can't donate feel away. But I'm like, you ever heard of something called a telethon where they like, this person donated this amount of money. But if I'm showing transparency because as a black man, whenever people donate, they say you stealing the money. Mm-hmm. So I'm giving transparency, like, yo, this is how much. This is what someone gave. This is how much they gave, and this is what we did with it. I'm gonna give you pictures. I'm gonna give you videos. I'm gonna show you everything I did. Other people like, yo, that's showing off. I'm like, yo, I've been feeding families since Corona started. I haven't posted none of that. If you look at the Real Word Ministries bank account bill, you'll see how much money that we've been spending. Just the other day, I sent a check to a girl in Mississippi to feed her family. I didn't post that. But then y'all questioning about, oh, where's God? Where's Christ? Where's Christ? When all the churches closed, who opened up their church? I risk my positions in church just to show these kids there's still people that care. There's still people that's giving the message, that's not only talking, but that's actually doing it. It's like I'm not only talking, I'm actually doing it. You know? And every time y'all say one thing, yesterday was the other co-host. He's gone. What's the excuse now? You saying we need better cameras for the show. We got better cameras for the show. What's the excuse now? You said we need better mics. We got better mics for the show. What's the excuse now? You said to work with the politicians. The politicians got our back now. What's the excuse now? Mm-hmm. And you saying that I don't got credentials. I'm a whole ordained elder now, bro. What's the excuse now? You say I don't got the education. I finished my master's in social work in December. What's your excuse now? What's the problem? Like, what's your excuse? Like, really, what's your excuse? And then they say, oh, you doing this for clout, you doing this for fame. So what about the people that's not doing nothing but that diss me online and then they sign off and they don't do anything about it? What about these people? You understand what I'm saying? I could walk away from this tomorrow and I'ma still be good. I don't make money off of this. I spend money on this. It's non-for-profit. Keyword non-profit. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
To that though, and I understand your frustration. But whenever you try to build an empire, like,
watch out for the preview.
That's what it's gonna come with.
You see Game of Thrones,
and you have a vision, and it's clear, and we all exactly see where we have to go. What happens is though, I don't think you could get frustrated enough that you stop working towards where you're going.
Never.
What we want for our people, what we have to understand is like, Martin Luther King was doing this in the 60s, and look at where we are today. We have to be able to acknowledge that whatever we decide to do, whatever we are doing, we might not be the ones
to change everything.
To actually take our people there. Your job is to actually just continue to be the best you can be. Continue to do what you're doing. Because
that's the haters, man.
Yeah, like what you're doing in essence is inspiring the next class. Once you have enough people behind you, you could definitely probably be the one that actually takes the movement to a certain level. But to be honest with you, bro, it's probably not gonna be our generation. But the message of unity and black ownership, we could never stop preaching it, no matter how much it's not manifesting in our own lives.
Or the way we want it to.
Yeah, or the way we want it to. But we could never stop preaching the message, because what we want in the end, in true essence, is to speak it into existence. So it's not happening. We understand the frustration, but we're gonna keep talking about it until it happens. And if we're not the one to make it happen, we just hope that we inspire enough people behind us to say, yo, we see what those people were trying to do. We see, this is the same thing I said about Obama. Like, we need to look at the people above us, see where they got, and say, this is where we want to go. Like, okay, this is what they did wrong. This is what we're not going to do when we get there.
Let me add something to you. Bro, I always felt that you let the haters get to you, man. Even since the days we was clubbing, I felt like you gotta remember that if you putting out good energy, that's it. Don't worry about nothing else. If they coming at you with their bad energy, let them keep it, because you know energy transfers. I know you believe in that. Yeah. So if you listen to them, you are allowing it into your matrix, and you're letting it actually bring you down.
Yes.
So just if you feel like whatever they said was a dark comment, just ignore it, bro, because there's gonna be haters. There's gonna be people that love you. Focus more. It
doesn't matter what you
people
do.
that love you, man.
No, like you are like, you know how they say you have to be the change you want to see in the world. Like you are already the change that you want to see. Like I do not mean to lecture you in no way, because like, you know, I have my own shortcomings, but like whoever attacks you, like you have enough within you to actually talk to them and convince them, bro. Like, and I understand the frustration, but it's like whoever is hating is probably mad at themselves that they can't.
That's their energy.
Like, and at the same time, bro, you have to realize, son, like the decisions that you make, the discipline that you have, other people might not. Like someone who might want to be here with you, and you know he wants to donate, and then he's just not doing what he has to do to get there.
That's mindset.
And then when it comes time to speak truth to power, instead of facing it and saying like, yo, bro, I just messed up, bro. Like I didn't play how I needed to. I didn't come up with the bread. I didn't do X, Y, and Z. Like, you know, just man up and say the truth. They just, you know what? Let me just mess up my relationship with me and Rickard, and then he just won't ask me. Instead of being, he just won't ask me about it anymore.
What's the word?
I'll just act like, you know, something is wrong with what he's doing,
which they have done.
And in essence, nothing is wrong with what you're doing. Something is wrong with them, and they're just scared to face it with you. So they figure, you know, if they just hide it and they don't face it, they act like it's not there. Like, I feel like a lot of people deals with that with credit. Like, you know, some people, they just don't look at their credit score, so they feel like, it's fine. It's fine.
There's no problem. I don't see it.
That doesn't exist. So it's like, some people are just scared to face their own realities with someone. So it's like,
they come at somebody
exactly. So they come at you different. So I feel like no matter how frustrating it is, bro, you could tap into your patience in that sense and just talk to them. Like what's up, bro? Like, why are you so angry?
And if you feel like it's going to bring you down, don't even
why you so mad?
Like, I feel like in the religious circle, they have their own exoskeleton of the person that they want at the top. You understand what I'm saying? The perfect, clean-cut person that came from so-and-so background, whose parents had the same background as them, and the person's clean cut, follow everything to the board, and that's who they want on top. Me, I'm not clean cut, bro. I'm not.
Nobody's
clean cut. That's the point.
Nobody's clean.
That's the problem, son.
But the difference between me and them, I don't hide mine.
Yeah.
I don't hide my flaws.
That's actually what makes you stronger.
Pretty much.
They hide they flaws.
Pretty much. Like when you look at it, Trump became president because he didn't hide who he was, man.
Literally.
Because he didn't hide who he was. But the problem is, people forgot where they was electing him to. And then once he got there, it's like, oh dang, like he's
about to use these ugly fronts in the president office.
But the funny thing is, like, he got in and he used to tell him, like, yo, I'm doing exactly what I said I'm doing.
Yeah.
And because of him, that's what's making the previous administration look
so bad. Look so
because,
bad.
like, yo, how you doing all this stuff and you ain't doing it?
I'm telling you, like, I used to criticize Obama, but like.
It was Obama's. You could blame Obama for why he was president.
No, somewhat.
But that's the executive branch. It's the legislative
the part of Obama that got Trump elected is the racist part, and I don't deal with that.
Yeah.
I don't deal with that. Some people just went out and voted for Trump literally because, like,
he was white.
They can't believe
they love that.
The actual black man was telling us what to do. Like, that was crazy. Like, let's go.
They were upset for a couple of years. They were upset.
Obamacare that passed.
Yeah, got rid of it.
People were willing to throw out Obamacare when they were clearly throwing their own health care away.
Yeah.
They did not care, man. They did not care. They did not want anybody to do with something a black man did.
And how do you think the people feel about Trump right now? They feel the same way. So 9 out of 10, you're going to pick the wrong person.
Some people are opening their eyes, but some people, to them, Trump could do no wrong. And
I can't believe those people still exist.
To me, I compare those people to the same Obama fanatics who tell you Obama did nothing wrong. Obama was great.
Some people still say.
Yeah, some people still say that, and it's like
some people want Obama back.
But those people are fanatics, man. It's like
more than fanatics.
Like, we need to try to wake those people up, man. Wake up, wake up, like. We have
one thing I realized though, a lot of people, especially religious people, are upset at the woke people. They're like, oh, these people talking about they woke, talking about they want an award or something, this and that, blah blah. One thing I keep hearing people say is like, oh, people want to be glorified, like they want awards and this and that. I'm like, yo, but y'all trying to throw subs at me because I got awards? Like, I actually won awards for the good stuff I did, and it was a white woman that gave me those awards. It wasn't black people.
You always get this more support outside your circle, though.
Wokeness, though, I think, like, I look at it as a distraction, to tell you the truth, man. Because, like, listen, we clearly have racial problems in this country. Like, we clearly do. Like, and we need to tackle those issues straight on. And we need to make sure.
Beat that, man.
I feel like there's two types of woke, though.
Once you made somebody a slave, it's we
gotta
tell a new story or something.
There is no new story to be told. Yeah. Like the first thing that has to be told is the actual story needs to be told.
Yeah.
Like that's what needs to be. That's what needs to happen first, man.
Because I feel like they don't talk about
when we go to school and our stories start with us on slave ships. Like that's just wrong. Yeah. Okay, that's number one.
But they've been reprogrammed for how long? And they still gonna be
racist. Absolutely, like the whole idea of manifest destiny, like the way they teach us manifest destiny in school.
God gave them rights to rule over everybody.
That's wrong. That's wrong. Like we just went into territory and forced ourselves into it and took them. Like
no, you pillaged.
If anybody did that in the United States today, like yo. They would feel wrath. We need to tell that story that way. The true way. We did wrong things. Like we need to acknowledge, like
they don't want to acknowledge.
Our forefathers.
The story is told by the victors, right?
So of course they're not gonna paint themselves as bad guys.
His story.
We fought to get Harriet Tubman on the bill. And the Trump administration, no, they didn't take it off. They just postponed it. They was like, not in this term, not in this administration.
We're trying to make America great.
It's like, we are literally glorifying slave owners.
They want to go back.
We're glorifying slave owners on our money, and And I understand the
You
sacrifice.
didn't hear what Cuomo said about the statue?
Yeah, about Columbus. Like, yo, listen, at this point,
Like, what you gotta do with Italians?
Columbus belongs in a museum.
Wait, what?
That's it.
Cuomo said.
Because like people started saying like, you know, since all these racist statues and slave owner statues was coming down, like they should take down Columbus one and Columbus Circle. He was like, nah, because like, he felt like it has something to do with like the Italian heritage and like so he believes in part that's so he thinks it'd be up because he's Italian too. I'm like,
but Christopher Columbus,
he's a Spaniard.
Yeah,
that's what the first that came out. Is this guy Spaniard? Like, what you got to do Italian?
They couldn't lose everybody.
They say Christopher Columbus.
It shouldn't even matter. But like he was like, no.
But this thing too is an absurd argument. Listen, at this point, Columbus belongs in a museum. That's it. You go to a museum and you see, okay, this is the guy. This is the guy that came here and took over. But he didn't discover anything. There were already people.
Right after this, it was a bad wave.
There were already
breaking
people
the
here.
He was a rapist,
child molester. You know, promoted massacres. We need to tell those truths, man. We need to tell those truths. But
we're making America great again.
Part of our problem too, though, is
would it be in the history books though?
No, we need to make sure those are in the history books.
But do you think you're gonna make it to the point to get in the history books?
Listen, I'm telling you, bro.
We're gonna fight like
if enough people go on the street and say this is what we want, this is what will happen.
But the company that writes the history books for the public schools is a racist company.
Then we need to be on the street saying that company needs to go, and then we'll go.
Black schools, black banks,
black
neighborhoods,
the government,
black presidents.
That's it.
We need our own. Like
They could just put a stereotype.
But part of our problem too, though, after we solve all those problems, we will still have an elite class in this country. And listen, those people would rather we talk about racism all day than we talk about class. This is why Jeff Bezos will come right here in front of us and take a knee and say Black Lives Matter. He will. Knowing damn well he does not care one bit about it. Because he does not want the argument raised to say like, yo, why am I paying a percentage tax and you're not? Like why?
But that's why they kill Martin.
Like what? Yo, listen. This needs to happen.
But that reminds me with Adrian.
Like
a lot of people been doing that though. They say Black Lives Matter.
No, but Black Lives Matter is one aspect. Listen, Occupy Wall Street should have never died out.
Matt Jackson actually lied. Yeah, bro, he lied.
Occupy Wall Street should have never died out, man. Because we needed to have a voice to tell Wall Street like the economic oppression needs to stop. Like there should be no way like why Chase executives are cashing in $16 million each at bonuses.
If you have a live question, just comment below. We're taking in live questions. I see Matt Jackson asks if we're taking live questions. Also,
yeah, we are.
Marie Paris said a small loan of $1 million. Just a small loan.
That's it. I told you $1 million.
I got you on point. I'm here for you. The real world.
But Adrian was talking about that too, the whole equality thing.
Are you willing to die for it?
I mean,
we have to be though.
You gotta die for your dreams regardless.
If we're not,
who's willing to die for it?
Nobody.
Because everybody's
the same thing in the NFL. Like a lot of them are like being a little fake because when Kaepernick was willing to talk about a lot of them wasn't, and all of a sudden like all these himself. You know, like that was like only like 12 of them. They go at like 1,600. You feel me? But that's how it is today. Like it's only like a handful.
Wasn't that the same thing with NBA with the Clippers owner? With they were still playing basketball. It was like, why y'all still playing with this racist guy? Like, it's just
jerseys and
like that was gonna make a difference.
Like, it's about a job.
J. Cole is my favorite artist. J. Cole is my favorite artist because of this. Because like in his song "Be Free," he pointed it out.
Yeah.
Like
intro.
No matter how woke we are, no matter how much knowledge we get, we have other shit to think about. Like what? Our bank accounts.
Yeah.
Our family.
Bruh, no matter how much, like, even the people protesting right now, they gotta go to work at some point. Like, this is how the system tricks you, man.
But that's how
it gets you so involved in it, you have no time to question it.
Exactly.
Because the time you take 1 week off to go to Washington to tell your senators this is what you want, by the time you come back to go to work, the bank is telling you they need the mortgage. And you
that's
can't,
the fake thing that Stephen
you
A.
can't be
Smith was
homeless
saying today too, because like when Kyrie and Dwight Howard was talking about like, nah, they don't think the NBA should start yet, and Dwight Howard was saying like, yo, it's too much stuff going on, like you don't want to take away from that message. Stephen like, yo, so what? You still gotta go back to work, like there's other stuff to take off work about like COVID-19, but for social justice, no, like I'm like, yo, and every white company does that. They find a black guy to go against black people. That way they touch their message, so it can be like, oh, you say that, but this is a good one right here. You know, like, but because not all of them think like that. Like, you know, like
absolutely, because and companies, and I'm telling you, and I used to say white companies until I saw rich black people taking advantage of the system the same way, man.
Coming after
companies will do the same thing, man. Like, listen, they will support Black Lives Matter up until the point because they know.
So they pocket.
As soon as you solve that, you're coming for them next. They know. They know it, man.
So they don't want to say nothing.
They do not want you to go there. They do not want you to go there. But like the class problem in this country is one of our biggest problems too, right next to racial inequality, man. Because rich people have been raping poor people for years and telling us everything is okay, man.
So what Adrian was saying.
Listen, like if you look at even like back when they said the economy was good, like when in every American town you had a factory, when you had a job you could be proud of. Like, listen, those same people that are kneeling right now telling you Black Lives Matter are the same people that shipped all those jobs away. And then what they do after that, they pay money to politicians that are promoting messages that immigrants are taking your jobs. Immigrants are not taking your jobs, bro. Wall Street is shipping those jobs away. Trump came in and told you, yo, we're going to bring them back. And then he's doing this whole war with China, which I told you, I agree with. But yo, where are you telling these American companies, yo, I'm gonna tax the hell out of you if you don't bring your companies back here? He's not doing that. No politician is doing that. Everybody's
on goods that come in from China, though.
The consumers are paying those taxes because the people just pay the tax and they increase the price of the product. Yeah. So they don't pay for it. We pay for it. Yeah. So like the government is acting like it's holding them accountable.
Overseas so let's do work for them.
Yeah,
because you were saying something that Adrian said.
So what Adrian had said was, what he was saying was, if you think about what America was built on bullying. So there has to be, because Adrian was like, yo, it just costs like what, 20 million or 20 billion either, or to end homelessness in America. And they just pushed out like 20 billion for the $1,200 check. So he's like, why don't they just end it? And he's like, it makes sense. If America's built on bullying, we stole everything, we need somebody to bully. So they have to have a lower class. They strive off
That's
that.
Every country, every government, like they need a lower class to blame everything
it's
on.
The pyramid.
So some people like take it out in a racist way, like it used to be here or anywhere else. They'll blame like the weakest ethnicity and like, yo, you guys are causing the issues. The same thing.
I'm good.
In the meantime, their whole problem is with rich people, man. Like their entire problem is with rich people.
With the rich people.
And then rich people are just like pushing politicians that's gonna push racist policies. And then those people are just entangled in those stupid ideas.
A perfect example is Jeff Epstein. He did whatever he wanted. They had a video
bro, that was terrible,
of
man.
the cop following him, and the cop would see him at hotels, chilling and playing golf, going to the airport, getting on planes. He was calling his ropes on like, this guy's at the airport right now. He's supposed to be on house arrest. And he was like, what do you want me to do? He's a celebrity, he's rich, he's powerful.
Listen, when they went and killed Jeffrey Epstein, listen.
Allegedly.
The rich class told you, we don't care. Okay? We don't care. We don't care.
Because they could have faked his death too.
Bruh, they tried. He attempted suicide the first time. He didn't die. How does somebody commit suicide on suicide watch? Bro,
Everything that could have happened.
They didn't care. They didn't care. So they said,
Ross fell asleep. Camera stopped working.
They said, we know how bad this is going to look. We don't care.
It's just like in Power when they killed the guy in the jail.
We know how bad. We know how bad this is going to look. We know how much questions there will be. We don't care because everybody was connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Everybody.
It still went down.
From Clinton to Trump, to the
White House, to
everybody, elite class in every country was connected to Epstein.
That's crazy.
And they told you basically, we don't care. They just killed him. And I'm still baffled that, we're still not asking enough questions about it.
Because there's too much stuff on the timeline, man.
This is too stuff. Even if you look at just the case they did on him in 2008, everything about that case, like you just mentioned, like who gets a deal for, soliciting prostitution for 15-year-olds, bro? Like you're getting 14 and 15-year-olds and the government agrees with you to call them prostitutes and just let you off with that charge.
Yeah. When you got that.
You get time in jail. When during the day you leave,
you working and you have no job. What job does this guy do?
And then what happens? The person who gave you the deal is in the cabinet of the current White House.
Exactly.
And then
step down though.
What happens? He just gets to resign and just off to the sunset.
With a pension.
Yeah.
I got one.
That we are paying for. That we are paying for, yo. Think about it.
I got one more wish. Back to Africa.
Taking black people back.
That's all you said. I need that, man. I need that trip.
You see, that I support, but I don't think we're ready. Yeah. We're just not ready. Like the system has us like way too dependent, man.
Yeah. Whipped.
Way too dependent.
They do have a lot of people.
Way too dependent. Like who's ready to go shower in the bucket right now? Huh?
Me guys and niggas is two different things. Me guys were the Black Kings, the niggas was American creation. It's Americans Frankenstein.
Pretty much.
The nigga.
Pretty much. But I think that's what sacrifices is gonna take. Like even when I say rebuild Black Wall Street, we have to understand the sacrifice that's gonna take. Like
economics.
It will take a whole lot.
It's gonna be a couple years without
it will take a whole lot of years without Gucci. More than a couple. Bro. More than a couple.
But like I was talking to my church the other day, and I was like, we practice group economics in church with tithes and offering. It's just that we don't benefit off of it. Why haven't we bought a small building?
Oh, that's a whole nother problem. The church.
We don't pay much rent. The rent that we pay right now is the price of a market rent of a room.
Pretty much.
So for the last 25, what other establishment do you know where they can make promises for 25 years and don't have to keep it? If you went to school for 25 years, you never graduate, you tell your parents, I'm going to graduate, don't worry. If you were a girl for 25 years, I'm going to marry you, don't worry, I'm going to marry you. Don't they believe you? How? But in church,
everybody somehow believes it.
Praise the Lord, it's going to happen. Even if we bought $250,000 houses, $300,000 house, $400,000 house. That would have been residual income, and then after a while, it would have built equity, and we would have had money to do other things.
That comes right back to what I told you. That's unity, bro.
It never happened.
Scientology did it. The Catholic Church is doing it.
So what are we doing Juneteenth, man?
Yeah,
we have to have a big meeting.
We need to do a special show for that.
Everybody, so they do
might have to Prospect Park.
Absolutely. No, but like, listen, like the Chinese. If you look at the Chinese, bro, like, listen, a Chinese girl, whether she takes a black guy, white guy, Mexican guy, whatever guy home,
she's taking a white guy.
She knows it's a problem. Whatever guy she takes home, bro. She knows it's a problem. Because like
a white guy step up, black man step down, Asian okay.
No. Like you see,
step up.
That's Hollywood, son. In the Asian community, son, yo, they want you to go marry your next Asian guy, man.
I ain't gonna hold you. Hang with us because of this whole thing.
They are not shy about it.
Nah,
they're not even shy about it, man.
Every race is not shy about being racist except
black people, son. We are the only one who constantly trying to promote being with everybody, man.
You know? I think it's more Luther King's fault.
I believe you.
And then as soon as he started to promote the different message, though, they shot him. As soon as he started saying, you know what?
We do need to be by ourselves.
Maybe Malcolm was right, man, because like this is like all that stuff. I was like,
we do need to be by ourselves.
Down he goes.
You're done.
Down he goes.
That's why I like. And you know what's crazy? I didn't grow up racist, I would say, but hearing Malcolm X's story, it just logically made sense.
Yo, and there is
even animals do it. You stick with your people.
There is nothing racist about it.
Exactly.
White people were the only one.
It was like, no.
Took it from here and went there like, oh, we're better than them.
Yeah.
We should make them work for us for free. Matter of fact,
and
they're not even human beings.
Then they convinced us that us liking ourselves was mean. Like, it was selfish. Like, you guys are wicked. Like, how could you like this?
It's not just black-owned businesses, but like black-owned organizations, like, or black-run organizations, because not everybody could have a business. Like, not even every white person.
Not everybody got a skill.
But like, most organizations we know is white. Ran, you know, like white control, so maybe
they usually pass it down generation to generation.
Here's a question though: why
control police force?
Oh, black police force. I know this. We would have a lot less, you know, white people killing black people if there was black police force in that black neighborhood or whatever.
They said that black people owned bus companies, movie theaters, hospitals, all these things up until the point where we started to integrate, up until integration. Once integration happened, black people was like, okay, we could finally ride the white cab company cars. We could finally ride the white people buses. We could finally go to the white people movie theaters. And you know what happened to the black stuff? They closed down because nobody was promoting it. Till this day, we be like, oh, if we live in a white neighborhood, we doing good. If we drive the same car as a white man, we doing good.
We do that a lot.
The problem is, like, of course, at the time, the white people stuff is going to be better. They had the head start. Of course, their bus is going to run better. Their theater is going to be better, bigger and better.
And then we got bougie.
You already see the neighborhood that black people lived in at the time is worse. But it's the fact that, but maybe if they stuck with it, maybe eventually they would have progressed.
Thank you.
But
We never stuck to one thing. This is why
upgrade. You know, you got to leave at the time.
I don't understand like this new stance that Kanye West is taking because like, in All Fours Down, he said it. It's like they make us hate ourselves.
I don't know about Kanye had all that.
That's the true point.
Well, he's a billionaire though. He achieved everything that he said he was going to do. We gotta respect that.
He said it ahead of time.
We have comments from Matt Jackson. He said the inherent rule of all governing bodies is to disparage the distribution of resources. Exactly. Uneven distribution of wealth. It doesn't matter any sect or chapter or brand. It's a wash to the opinion of any outsider. He said, I appreciate you guys having this Cypher. And it's Zonax, Junior Degree Jerome. Okay, real Haitian. He said it feels good.
What's up, my brother? Nah, but Nah, but and then it's the whole thing is it's
closing thoughts.
Closing thought. It's two issues that are worldwide, man. Racial inequality and classism. Two issues that are worldwide.
But you know what's the crazy part? That's the biggest thing that Kanye started preaching. But that's when the media started calling him crazy. When he started talking about classism, when he was going on that rant, talking about like, yo, I'm trying to start this, and
he went on DJ,
and that was sway. But even black people trying to tell him like, yo, like, why you even? And he's trying to explain to people like, yo, like, I don't have nothing yet until I'm able to get my own distribution and make my own fabrics and everything like that. Like, I'm trying to do that, but like, but like, you know, a small amount of people couldn't see what he was doing, and then the people above him was trying to stop him from doing what he's doing. So he's in the middle looking crazy. But at that time, so that's what really was going on.
And he asked the Facebook guy for a loan, and the Facebook guy ain't say nothing.
Yeah,
and
you should take a little bit of inspiration from that, man. You know,
and this way, just like, yo,
people looking at it like it was crazy.
But that's why it started so silly. It was like, yo, I'm trying to get this. Well, empower yourself. That's the thing. That's the same thing as when you like, yo, like you gotta work harder. If you work harder, if you black people work harder, they can maybe get there. Like just keep working, working hard. Like,
but we have to.
You don't got the answer, Sway.
But we don't got the
and like, he's like, yo, I try to do it myself. It's like, all right, what happened? Nobody bought it.
He's like, what you doing, Sway? You don't got no business.
But you see,
Trying to t-shirts.
that's what happens.
T-shirts.
He did have the answers though. That's why, like,
Somewhere in the process, Kanye lost his mind. He wasn't able to achieve what he wanted to achieve
at that time.
What we don't know is what he had to give up for it. And we don't know is maybe what he had to give up is why he lost part of himself. Maybe it's why he lost part of himself.
You do have to blindly believe in your dream or your belief in a sense, but his was
like I used to not like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Until I started to understand why Jay-Z moved as quiet as he did.
Yeah.
Because once you're as loud as Kanye, they will make you crazy, man.
They will portray you.
Yeah. They will do it to you.
Come to think, when Jay-Z did speak more, it was more negative media towards him, so he just stopped talking.
Even
that's why this time around he ain't said nothing, but he donated the $2 million.
Yeah,
he's moving
because
now.
He started to understand, like even the Illuminati talk, yo. Yeah. Jay ignored it and never talked about it.
He promoted it instead.
And then later on, Jay is at a level where it's like, yo, rich people, I know rich people hate Jay-Z. Because
you don't think rich people hate Kanye?
Oh yeah.
Nah, I don't think so because I think Kanye is just is just part of them now.
I don't think so.
I think
Kanye more than they hate Jay-Z.
Like I started to.
Oh wow!
Yes, they do. Bro.
I think so.
Kanye said this the other day where I'm like,
Jay-Z's more in line with them.
Yeah,
than
but Jay-Z
Kanye.
getting all this.
Jay-Z keep his mouth shut.
Jay-Z,
Kanye talk more.
No, but
who's with the politicians, Jay-Z or Kanye?
But Kanye's more risky. I would say that's why.
He sat down with Roger Goodell.
Jay-Z is backing politicians that are implementing policies that are for the people.
No, he didn't.
All right. Let me ask this.
Which politician was Jay-Z with that implemented policies for black people?
Ask Jumaane Williams how much.
No, I'm asking you.
I'm saying, ask Jumaane Williams, a politician in our state system right now. Mm-hmm. Ask him how much money Rock Nation is donating to him.
Well, why don't you say it for yourself?
No. I'm saying, don't ask me.
I'm asking you.
You can't say something.
You don't have to ask me. You can ask the politician directly, and this is my point. Like one of the things that I want implemented is like I want us to figure out how the government to give everybody democracy dollars, where we get money that we can only donate to politicians. Imagine if everybody had $100 or $200
to get to the politicians that they want to believe in.
They would actually come to your door and have a conversation with you.
And actually convince you.
And actually try to convince you to get that money from you.
But it's not hard to reach politicians. One day this girl at my job, she put in my mind, she was like, hell, you should reach out to the local politicians. And she was laughing. She thought it was a joke. I said, all right, cool, I'm going to do it. I remember I was telling you about it. I'm like, yo, I'm going to reach out to these politicians. Yeah. And then we did it, right?
They're going to respond to you, bro. They're going to respond to you. They're going to tell you, I'm going to work with you, blah, blah. They're going to get your vote. And then when they get to Washington, they're unavailable. Yeah. They're out to lunch. You know why? Because they're only answering the phone for the people who gave them money.
What I'm gonna say,
because they need to get reelected again.
Are you sure about
what
that?
I want to say?
That's if we are able to
take the money, use it, and be like,
bro, they need to get reelected, son.
They want to come back in office.
Yeah, if you need to get back in office, you need money to run another campaign.
They love power.
Yeah. If you cannot run another campaign, bro, you cannot get votes. So if you don't answer the phone for the people who give you money, 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 6 years from now, whenever your run is up,
the people are liking this show because we got like 18 shares.
But let me say this. I wanted to bring back something about the Kanye and Jay-Z thing. Kanye is probably not going to be hanging out with them as much as Jay-Z is. But I feel like, who are they more afraid of? They're more afraid of Jay-Z because he's actually trying, he's actually, I guess, quiet and smart enough to not shoot himself in the foot. I feel like they don't really care that much about Kanye because Kanye sometimes shoots himself in the foot being too loud. So they would rather him, do whatever he's doing and he'd be like, oh, he'll probably bring bad publicity on himself or whatever, saying something reckless. Jay-Z is more quiet about it, and he could sit down with them because you kind of got to be a quiet assassin when you're with these people.
I mean, look at it at that point. So 6ix9ine, they all say he's a rat, but there's a lot of rats in the industry. So what's your point?
My point is Kanye wouldn't be less of a threat than Jay-Z, so because of
I don't think
Kanye.
Kanye's less of a threat than Jay-Z. I don't think he is. Honestly, like Kanye said, they done canceled him and rolled him out and counted him out so many times and he always came back. Jay-Z doodled on Kanye.
There's a reason
for that.
Nah, I don't think Jay doodled on Kanye.
I think so.
Look,
He said,
to be honest with you, if you
And why did
to be honest
why
with
did
you,
he ask Jay-Z for help?
nah, to be honest with
Kanye
you,
did something and shot himself?
if you look at that whole situation,
Yeah.
I just don't think Jay-Z with the whole Kim Kardashian thing, He just wasn't
Neither
with
is Beyonce with part of that.
That's it.
How we not talk about
That's
how
it.
Kanye
That's
has all
what we
these?
love.
Kanye made a
But, yo,
song about
listen.
when he get on, he'll leave you for a white girl.
I think I think Jay just wasn't with it, and Kanye tried to bring him along, and he just wasn't. The straw that broke the camel back was when they were getting married. Jay and Beyonce was going through their thing, and
I got one more thing to add.
Beyonce already. I don't think Beyonce liked Kim Kardashian that much, so I don't think she already wanted to go to the
Kanye
wedding.
compared Kim Kardashian and Beyonce, saying Kim Kardashian deserved a spot on Hollywood floor.
No, but
She put anybody on the Hollywood floor.
But my problem was that he compared her to Beyonce. I'm like, yo, she's not that impactful in a good way for our community, at least.
No, but
She has been. She has been.
She helped black people.
Yeah, she has.
She helped freed a lot of black people.
When Kanye and Kardashian was getting married, though, that's when Jay-Z got caught cheating. So it's like,
But that's not Kanye's fault.
but how I'm gonna confess her to come to your wedding, though? Like, she ain't
come outside.
even talking to me like that. First of all, she don't really like your wife. That's already a dumb. She ain't coming.
And then I cheated
Yo,
already.
How am I gonna confess her to come?
But bro, how would you feel if your best friend don't come to your wedding?
But could you imagine if I go to the wedding without her, bro? Like, we trying not to let everybody know. Exactly. We don't
be all.
But what's more
But when
important?
it's time to sell records, they put it out, right?
No, but that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
These are the type of people that call paparazzi on themselves, like they can move secluded all the time, but you know.
That's the whole
Actually,
thing. Though.
didn't Jay-Z
I don't
ask
think-
for them
I don't
to be
think-
no cameras and he
I don't
wanted
think-
cameras?
I don't
How you
think
gonna
Beyonce-
make people say no cameras at their wedding? You feel me?
I don't think Beyonce-
That's another wild thing.
I don't think Beyonce. I don't
Very
think.
Jay-Z thing.
Yo, you gonna come to your wedding, bro?
I don't think Beyonce ever
They had that type of status.
They got status. That's what they say. We got status too, nigga. Like yo, the type of cake you having at your wedding? Nah, I don't like that. Change that cake, bro.
So what was he supposed to do? He can't come by himself. It's gonna be bad either way on his family. Like,
Let's end this conversation like this, right? When Jay-Z and Nas went against each other, everybody said that Nas won the battle, but Jay-Z won the war. Why? Because Ether was better than Takeover, but then Jay-Z made more money. Then it was Kanye versus Jay-Z, whether we like it to admit it, and we thought Jay-Z won. Now Kanye got more money.
but that don't got anything to do with music. We was talking about music. At that time.
But we wasn't talking about music when we was talking about Jay-Z versus Nas.
But
I would
said
take
that
the
Jay-Z
Blueprint over whatever the tape that Nas had dropped. The song everyone really liked was Ether.
Illmatic, bro. Illmatic was a classic.
I'm talking about when he dropped Ether. The song everyone liked was Ether.
Yeah, that was during the beef, but they said that Jay-Z won the war because Jay-Z got more money. Jay-Z
I think-
I don't know.
But I think
Jay-Z
yeah.
won the war because he.
I think that's perception. I think somebody saying Jay-Z won the war is just somebody right now saying
that's
that
just an opinion, like-
6ix9ine is winning. It's all perspective, though.
Some people
Like,
feel like
If you was to ask me, I'll give you a different answer.
yo,
They don't feel like 6ix9ine is back?
bro, like, yo, first of all,
Yes or no? Yes or no?
I haven't watched any of his videos.
I haven't either.
Thank you.
But they say he's
like,
You talking about him right now, right?
But he's back.
You brought him. You brought him.
I'm bringing him up to that point to say like he's back, like to the people that cares about that whatever stuff that he does.
Yeah.
But to the people that cares about the essence of it, you're like, no, like, they'll tell you.
All right,
nah,
But
this is
since when
better
has
than
those
Joe.
people been important though? Like the kid talking about the essence of hip hop. Like hip hop been
Dead for a
It's
while.
exactly that. That's why people wouldn't say hip hop was dead because like people
just-
started over sexualizing things
I
and then
disagree.
glorifying
It's
certain
not being
things.
about a message.
It's just been about the money
It's
and
just been about partying in a sense.
I used to
and
say,
drugs.
I used to say the same thing until I realized that, listen, record companies used to put so much money out there to build an idea in our head of what
We want.
success is in the music industry.
Oh wait,
When
a sec.
it's-
we could bring that right back.
When
to
when it's when it's
black
completely
music in a sense.
yeah, and when it's completely not true. Like Chance the Rapper and Tyler the Creator
J. Cole.
changed that whole perception. When it's like, yo, listen, you don't need 15. Like
Yeah.
it used to be like if you don't sell over 1 million records, your album flops. That's what it used to be.
Yeah.
Now you sell 300,000, you're number one. Everybody celebrates it. You know why? Because record companies were
Changing perception.
hiding those numbers back then. They were telling you 300,000. That's a low number. You can't make no money off that. When E40 been selling that for years, and yo, E40 been rich for years. But yo, record company been putting money out there to make sure people like E40 don't get advertised that much.
Yeah.
So you always have an idea in your head that E40 is a local broke rapper. When that's not true at all.
All right, closing thoughts, gentlemen, so we can get up out of here.
We need black schools, black banks,
Black everything.
black RAN,
We need black Wall Street.
black police force.
Black police force.
Number one, man.
Black
We need to police
star.
ourselves.
Everything in
I
life
think
come
we
with
said
a
it,
price.
man. I think we got all our closing thoughts out.
Absolutely.
So let's go around in circle one more time. You said we need land. You said that we need black banks, and we also need, I forgot what was the
Black
other thing you
schools.
said. Black schools, black owned schools,
Black police.
black police. So black banks, black schools, black police, and we need land. You said we need the one-shot deal, at least $1 million head start, right?
Yup.
And then you said
Pretty much picking back off what AJ said. Like we need just
Wall Street.
black everything. We need a black agenda, and we need to make sure we vote for politicians that will make sure they
We
put
need a juice.
our policies into action.
and the black people that have wealth should reinvest into other black people as well, I believe.
Absolutely. But once we start dealing with ourselves, we will be able to own our own rich people accountable. We will be able to force them to, invest into our communities. Like even right now, like you look at Dr. Dre. Yo, Beats by Dre blew up. There was a big advertising campaign behind it. But yo, if you look at the numbers, hip hop pushed that, yo.
Of course.
We pushed that brand.
Yeah, that was every music video.
When it was time to put money to power, Dr. Dre put with Jimmy Irving, they built a school in USC, bro.
UCLA.
In USC.
USC, yeah.
They built another building for USC, bro.
Where rich white kids.
Where rich white kids go.
Not even for
Like when Dr. Dre could have just let Jimmy Irving do his own thing for USC.
And look out for
He could have looked out for Morehouse. He could have looked out for any black college.
He's from
And,
Compton.
he could have went out and built a school in Compton. He didn't do that. But like if we were more unified, if we had more of a community, we had politicians that actually did what we wanted. Like we would have had a politician that said like, yo, Dre is not donating to our cause. And immediately we would have flood Dre on Twitter, flood Dre in his mailbox, wherever we need to go. And he would have had to do something. Because like those people are successful with our money, yo.
And our hope, our dream.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
there you go, people. Hold people accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And remember, you can't change the world until you change yourself. And we got to start at the bottom in order to reach the top. We already start at the bottom, but we got to build each other up so we can reach the top. Stop robbing each other. Stop scamming each other. Stop pulling the okie doke or the rope a dope on each other. And let's just work together as one. One collective, one people, one race. Every other race is looking out for themselves. except for us. You know, other races is like, yo, let's make sure we good before we go help each other out. Black people just want to be cool with everybody while we suffering at the bottom, and that's been our biggest problem. So thank you for watching The Real Word. This your host Rickard, Jean-Noel, my co-host DK Truth, Ace Irving, my guest Anthony YungSimba, AJ Ram. We thank you for joining us tonight. Shout out to everybody that's watching, shout out to everybody that's commenting, shout out to everybody that watch live, everybody that's watching on TV, everyone that's listening on podcast. We love you and God bless. Real quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, those in heaven, we thank you for this moment in time. We thank you for this Gold Table Talk where we could come together collectively and put our energy towards something good. Help us to not keep this energy to ourselves, but help this energy to keep flowing. Help this video to be shared and watched amongst the people so it can resonate. Help us to continue to grow as a people, as a brand, as a company, as we continue to move on through the motions and through this mission. In the name of Yahshua the Son, we pray to the Holy Father. Amen.
Amen. Stay out for season.
It's the real word. It's the real word.